we'll go next concept, that is arrays. So in conditional statements we have learned if and switch, and looping statement for, while and do while. Okay, so now I think you can able to write the programs in for, while, because we have done multiple examples, right, using for and while. Okay. um, First of all, what is arrays? So it's a very important concept. So the arrays is a collection of same data type, we can say like that. So the first point is collection of same data type. What is collection of same data type? Okay. So for example, now you think that you want to store 10 integer numbers. See, previous examples, we have stored only one value into the one variable. Now I want to store five values to the one variable. How I can store? So those kind of situations, I can go with the arrays, right? So that's what the collection of same data type. So you cannot store other types inside that array. Okay, so you have to declare like this int. So when we used to do array using these two boxes. Okay, int, then I want to declare, for example, number of 10 values. Okay, then you should not do here equal to new int of 10. So I want to allocate 10 values. This is one way. Okay, so otherwise you have to declare like this. This is a syntax. Okay, now I want to assign 10 values to my array. How I can assign? Int input. So this is declaration. Okay, so so what it will do is, when you write this block, so it will allocate 10 integer boxes to this number type. So it's like similar to I can show you with where is my, okay. See, for example, as I said, I have declared like this. Okay, so which means there is a number. Okay, so it will create 10 boxes, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, so in this case what will happen is, see, for example, so integer having 4 bytes, as I said, right? So 4 bytes in the sense, for example, I am taking 4 bytes, so 1000, 1004, 1008, 1012, 1016, 1020, 1024, 1028, 1032, 1036. See, what I am trying to say is, the memory is contiguous memory allocation, so which is going to be the values is going to store continuously, right? For example, that first block, which means the index value, also the array index start with 0. So here how I am going to access this 10 values is using the index. How the index will work? I will write here so that you will get some idea. So if I write number of 0, okay, so which means I want to access 0th index. So here I want to access a number of 1, number of 2, number of 3, number of 4, right? Number of 5. So you can access up to number of 9. So the index value starts with 0. It will go up to number of 9. Okay. Then you can able to store your values. See, for example, I want to store 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 45, 56, 23, 98, 100, 300, 1, 2, 4, 5. So you can store the values like this. Okay. So this is your address. So for which why I have given is, for example, now and address in the sense, anyhow, whenever you store any value into your any variable, so every variable is going to have one unique address, right? So every instruction, see, for example, when you see this Eclipse, so it is in previous program, I have given int I equal to 1, which means I have assigned 1 to I. So internally the system will have one address for this I variable, right? So so every variable is going to store using one address, right? So the same way, for example, we have taken the address of this the first index value is 1000. So the next address will be the contiguous one. So the day one I explained the integer is going to have 4 bytes of memory, right? So that's what I have increased by 4008. Otherwise you can just explore it on Google. So the memory for each data type, how much memory is allocated for the each data type. You can take integer, float, and a character, long, double, string, right? So you just explore in internet and try to see how many bytes allocated for the each data type. So in integer is going to have 4 bytes. So 1000, 1048, I have taken the 4 bytes as an example. Just I increased each index value by 4 bytes. Okay, so this is the memory allocation for the array, how we can declare, and these are the index values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you want to access this 56, okay, so if you want to access this 56, how we can access? When you write number of 4, it will give you 56. So which means you cannot write 5. If you write 5, it will give you 23. Okay, so because the index is starting from 0. Okay, so this is what you need to write. Okay, now we'll go to the example to know more about our arrays. So you can have, if you have any doubt, you can ask. I'll create a new class file. I will write array demo. So now let me create one integer array. Okay. So here I will declare the values for that array. Okay. So here how we are going to access this array. See, as we said, just we will access one variable first. Now I want to display this 5. How we can display? The index starts from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you write input of 4, you will get the element 5. So now you can execute this, you will get the element 5. Otherwise, if you want to see the index value with the value, I will write a for loop now. Okay, so the index is going to start from 0, so I will write int I equal to 0. Okay, then I want to go up to here, up to 10. Okay, so there is a method called length. So int length of input array. So the input variable is input dot length. So there's a method called input length. It will give you the length of the array, which means, so now I have one array. Now I want to the length of these 10 digits. So you can write input dot length. It will give you the value of 10. Okay, because I want to traverse the first element to the 10th element. Okay, so if you want, I can display the length of the array after calculating that. So the length of the array. Okay, here I can write you can just copy and paste it. Okay, so you will get the length of the array. So here I can write I less than input of the array. So it will start from 0 to 9, because there is no value in the 11th index, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 9 I want to go, as we explained over there. Then I plus plus, I am going to increase by the one value from the index. So this is what you need to traverse from the array. So if you see here, I am starting from 0, then less than 10, in the sense it will comes to up to 9, and now I want to take the value of this 1, 2, 3. So I have to write number of I. Okay, so you can write like this, I, which means we can write like this, I plus index value is, okay, then you can write input of I. Okay, so if you execute this, you will get to know the values are stored in the each index. Okay, now you right click and run as Java application. You will get the values, right? So I will give with the space. Now you can run as Java application. Okay, so these are the things. So this 0, these are the index values. Okay, I'll give the space. You will get the clear idea. See here, this is the 0 index value is 1, first index value is 2. The same thing we have done it. Okay. Okay, so now the second what I want to do is, I want to find the sum of the array. How we can find the sum of the array? So now you know how to traverse the each and every element in the array. So this is, here I have stored 10 values. Here what I have done, just I have find the length, then I have displayed all the values. Now if I want to do sum of the array, what I need to do? Sum of the, in the sense, you know, right? So here we have 10 elements. Okay, here I have 10 elements. I want to add each and every element in the array. So what we have done, the sum of the digits, what we have done, we have declared one variable sum equal to 0, right? We are going to do the same here. First I want to declare one variable int sum equal to 0. Okay, and I want to perform the addition of each and every value present in the index. So anyhow we have I index value is 0, right? So what we need to do, sum equal to sum plus, simply we can write input of y. It will give you the sum of the array. If you execute this, you will get to know the sum of the array. We have not displayed, right? We will display. So you can write sum of the array is, you can write plus sum. You will get the sum of the array 55. Okay. So what we have done is simply the same logic, sum equal to sum plus remainder, which we have done for the sum of the digits. Here we have used the same logic, sum equal to sum plus input of I. Okay. Okay, now okay, logic is very simple. Now there is an array. I will change the values of the array now. 200, simply 47, 36, 154, then 457, 50, 63, 71, 83, 94 or 90, then 100. Okay, now I have changed the values of the array. So now I want to find the 457 is present or not in that array. So now I have one input to find. Okay, so I have one variable int to find equal to 470. We will take 71. Okay, now I want to write the logic for the 71 is the value present in the array or not. Okay, so how I can do? Same logic we can write. So for example, here I will write it. Okay. For int I equal to 0, I less than input dot length I plus plus. Okay, now anyhow we are going to traverse each and every element. So the logic is, we want to take each and every element value, and we want to check with that value with 71. If it matches, then we can say the searched value is present, right? So we can break from the for loop. So this is what the logic I am going to write. So if we can write input of I must be equal to find variable, to find. So any one of the index value is matches with the searched value, then we can say we can write one flag present. equal to, by default I want to make false. Okay, so here if the condition is true, I am going to make present equal to true. I am using one flag variable. Then once the condition is matches, I want to come out this break. Okay, so I will break from the for loop, break. Now now anyhow this present is going to have whether the value is present it or not. If I come here, then I will check not system.out.println. I will hit the condition if present, we can say value is present. Else value is not present. Okay, so this is what we need to do, whether the given value is present in that array or not, right? So now you can search, you can execute your program, the value is present. Now if I give any other value, for example if I say 710, then value is not present. Okay, okay, so now I want to find the maximum value of the array or low. Okay, we'll write the logic for maximum. So you can there is one simple difference while finding maximum and minimum. So here the maximum value is, what is that, 457. Now I want to find the value from this array. How to find the maximum value present in that array? So this is this example which we have done now, the value is present or not. This is one of the interview question. They have asked to me Photon Infotech recently, that if you see that previously I have shared one file, right? One file in our group. There I have shared some array examples, right? So the first example which I have shared is whether the given value is present or not. Okay, so now we will find the maximum value present in that array. So this logic for, let us write, because if anyone wants to this, they can able to understand. This is what value is present or not. Okay, this for loop for sum of the array, and now we are going to see maximum element present in that array. Present in the array. Okay, so simple. See, the logic is very simple. We need to traverse each and every element in that array. Okay, so I will declare one variable int max equal to 0. Okay, I have declared one variable called int max equal to 0. Now I will write the logic for int I equal to 1, I equal to 0, I less than We have already we have found the length of the array is, then we can say that variable, just I will copy it, length of the array, then I plus plus. Whenever you found the program related to array, always, yeah,
There's 22 line, no need of writing that, right? Boolean present equal to false, no problem, right?
yeah, by default it will be false only. So by default, which is
Then,
going to,
then
yeah,
by default fault means will not get, right?
which I'm not getting.
So here we given boolean value equal to false, right?
Yeah,
So again in that if in for loop if we get matched item, it will go to true.
exactly.
So in 32, what it is going to take here present value, it is going to take true, right?
See, if the value is present, which is going to be true actually.
Okay, but if not find, directly given false, right?
Yeah, then if it's not there, then always it is not going to be there, right? See, I will see. That's what the last video. See,
Yes,
uh,
yes.
last
Last thing.
last what I told is before using any variable, we need to define that value. See here it is giving the error. So the local variable present may not have been initialized. So the variable should be initialized before using this. That is one reason. And the by default the boolean variable value is false. Okay. So I will tell you why I am giving false over here. I think I'm expected you will come up with this question. See, I will tell you this flag variable value why I am using this. Okay. So now there is an array. I want to check whether the given element is present in that array or not. That's it. Okay. So now I am going to traverse each and every variable in the array, a value in that array. I am taking each and every value that index value, right, with the given to searched value. If this condition is true, right, so I want to make it present equal to true. Okay, why? Because we need some reference. Okay, we need some, because I cannot write over here. See, so what will happen if I write the value is present if this condition is true? So each and every time it has to first element, second element, third element, fourth element. So every element, whenever this condition is matches, this system.out.println will get executed. So instead of doing this, right? So I am making present equal to true, which means I can check outside of this for loop. That's what I am making present equal to true. Then once the condition is matches, I want to break out. So this is what you need to follow the standard concept. So whenever you are iterating for the each and every value present in that array or string or character array, so you can go with the flag variable, right, to make sure that we are storing that variable. So anyhow this condition will be true whenever this condition is matches. That's it. Otherwise nothing will happen. So this present always is going to be false. What we have mentioned over here. When it comes to this for loop and when the condition is matches, the present is going to be true. That's it. Otherwise it's going to be false. Okay. So when it come out from the for loop, right, so we are checking this present. If this condition is true, this block will get execute, and if this condition is false, this block will get execute. That's it. As per your doubt, um, whenever we want to use any local variable, we need to define it. That's what always by practice it will come to me. So whenever I am going to use this any variable, I used to initialize. See here, you can see every variable I have initialized before using this. So it should come by practice actually. So that's what I have declared present equal to false. See, logically also this is correct, and syntactically also this is correct. Got it? Still you have doubt? Balganesh?
No, no, it is clear.
Okay, great. Okay. So now, what we that's what. So what we are trying to say here is we are trying to find the maximum value present in that array. So that's what I have declared on variable max equal to 0. Okay. So the same concept what we have done here we are going to do. So for example, um, if we need to write input of I is greater than maximum value, maximum variable value. So I want to make max equal to input of I. That's it. See, this is very simple logic actually. What we are doing is we have declared one variable max equal to 0. Okay. If that index value is greater than max, so absolutely when you come to this 154, automatically that 154 is greater than maximum. What will happen? So now that the index value is assigned to this maximum, the same way now again the maximum value is compared with the second index value, that is 200. So now what will happen? The maximum value is assigned with the 200 because the condition is true, because input of I value is 200, then maximum value is 154. So the 200 is greater than maximum, so the condition is true. Now the maximum value is 200. When it comes to this 36, now the index value is 36. What will happen? So now that 36 is compared with the 200. Now the condition is false. Now this block will not get executed. It will come to again this for loop. Now it will come to the fourth index. The fourth index is 457. So now again the 200, right? So the 200 is compared with the 457. So the 457 is greater than 200. Now the condition is true. The maximum value assigned with the 457. Okay. So the same thing will get executed again and again till this 100, the last index value. When it come out from this for loop, okay, you will get the maximum value is present in the max. So maximum value present in the array is, you can write max. $457. If you want to see the minimum value, yes, that also we can able to do. The same for loop. Okay. You can write t less than symbol. So here we can modify. Instead of maximum, I want to make int minimum equal to 0. Just I have modified the, instead of maximum, I am giving less than symbol. So here I will say minimum. So here I will say minimum. Okay. Then minimum value is, you can say minimum. Now you will get the minimum value present in that array. Okay, great. So now I'll give you one I will give you two examples today, two exercises to you guys. Please practice this before coming to the class. If you have any doubt, we can discuss tomorrow class. We can write a program tomorrow class only. But practice it, that will be very helpful to you. Okay. The first program is, I will give you two programs. Then other programs will give you Okay, so the first program is to find second maximum. This is one of the interview question. You try to find yourself second maximum, then sorting of the array. Okay, sorting in the sense you can go with the ascending order or descending order. Okay, the second maximum in the sense we found the 457. Okay, now you want to find the now you need to say the second maximum is 200 in this array, and the second example is sorting of the array. So you try to find the logic for the array, ascending order or descending order. You try yourself, right? Anyhow, if you have any issue, before starting the session tomorrow, we will discuss these two programs.